With a podcast on my 20% project, this is Joe Ponce from Mr. Herman's Period 5 Honors English class. Now, to begin, I would like to talk shortly about the book that I've been reading, which is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, as a part of the assignment. Now, as a book set in the future with a virtual reality, this book's themes offer interesting views of how technology may manifest itself in the future. Now, in the book, Oasis is the virtual utopia for humans in the world, and it serves as a way for people to escape from their true lives of working, crime, and insufficiency. As I read through this concept, it's not far from what we may see today when it comes to computer games, the internet, and social media. I think about how far games have advanced in only these past couple of years, and everything is about becoming more realistic, to have visual effects pop out at you so that it feels as if you're almost in the game. Now, this makes me think, how far is it till we have this device that finally achieves what everyone's been looking for, this world of Oasis, virtual utopia? It's definitely an interesting and very controversial topic upon which light is shed upon with the book, and it's something I really appreciate in relation to my project. As for the other portion of the project, I will be talking about the challenges and the successes that I've encountered so far in my work. My project deals mainly with research on the basic parts of computers, all in hopes of learning enough to be able to build my own computer in the future. Now, going into this, I felt like I had a decent background with computers, but I also knew that there was a lot more that I had to learn. So far, I've researched the basic information for all the parts, but I'm looking forward to researching specific components to put into the build that I plan on creating. Also, I've been able to dismantle one of the old computers in my house so that I may be able to have a hands-on experience with the research that I've invested so much of my time into. Lastly, a big part of this project is logging the progress of my work through the creation of a website, which I've already done, the videos, and this podcast actually, which I'm speaking right now. So I'm going to start with the difficulties, and as for the difficulties, one thing that I've found is that an issue when researching technology is that there's no specified depth to the information, meaning that you can always get more specific in learning how things work. There's always another system that's within the system that's within the system. So, for example, when I researched the motherboard, which is a main component in the computer, I found the basic information on what it does, so I knew what it did. But I also found the specific components for that component were. Also, all the technological jargon and the systems within the motherboard itself. So, honestly, it just felt like every door that I opened led to two more doors. And it is up to me to figure out how deep I want or need to go to be ready to build my own computer, because I want to know enough to be able to build my computer efficiently, but I also don't want to overwork myself with information that I don't necessarily need. Also, in building a computer, I naturally want to build the best computer I can. In the past, I've worked with my share of slow, pixelated screen computers for me to not want to build myself an awesome computer. But the thing is that it can be very pricey, and I'm not sure I truly want to spend all this money on a computer. Therefore, it's up to me to find a happy medium. Lastly, there are just so many manufacturers, types, and prices of computer components out there in the world, and in the end, my main source of my information is online reviews, which are not necessarily the most reliable things out there. And I just have to back up my research by searching for even more reviews so that I can find the general opinion, general scheme of how people feel about a certain part. Moving on to the successes that I've encountered with this project, I found that making the website was actually a lot easier compared to what I thought it would be, because in freshman year I actually took a web design class in which we had to code our own websites just for them to even show up on the internet. Obviously, it's a lot easier now with Google Sites. Not only this, but actually building the computer is honestly easier than I expected, because if you were to avoid getting worried about all the wires and the parts and how everything looks together when inside the system, and you can see it as just plugging in parts together, everything becomes so simple when building a computer. And this is very important with me for this project, to avoid overcomplicating things. Also, being able to see the parts of the computer that I disassembled and being able to identify them, um, it was really gratifying. So I think disassembling the old computer in my house, was an awesome idea. There are also so many YouTube videos online and blogs on computer building that have helped me on the way. And with the diversity and the vastness of the parts in the world, I have so many options that I can take when I plan on building my computer. So with that being said, for all my difficulties, I've found just as many successes in my work, and I look forward to overcoming all that I face as I continue on with this project. Thank you for listening, and again, this is Joe Ponce signing out on this podcast for my 20% project.